Hi, I'm Ruth Udo, and with me I have Chisom,
Hi.
Rupon, and Jubilee. Today I will be talking about how sound affects our moods. How many of you listen to music or watch movies? The sound playing behind me may sound quite familiar to some of you, especially if you watch suspense movies like me. So what effect does this sound have on you actually? Without realizing it, your heart rate may have fluctuated a bit throughout this audio. The reason is because various combinations of sounds have different effects on our moods. I will start by defining. Sound is a form of energy that is transmitted by pressure variations which the human ear can detect. First, the hair fibers of the cochlea, the snail shell resembling organ in the inner ear, sends pressure variations in the form of electrical signals to the auditory nerve. Then the impulses are transferred to the auditory center of the brain. At that point, the impulses are translated into a language that the brain understands, and there begins a conscious perception of sounds. Our reactions to those sounds is what we call moods. A mood is defined as a temporary state of mind or feeling. Noise is often referred to as the alter ego of sound and is defined as unwanted sound. But what exactly makes it unwanted? Noise is transmitted in the same way as sound, except it sparks negative emotions instead of positive ones. The Sleep Foundation tells us that noise can just lull our sleep. And while we may not pay so much attention to it, it has lasting effects on us physically and emotionally. Sound is able to be refined for useful purposes, and since noise is a type of sound, it can be refined also. The main sounds I will be looking into today are common chords, suspense sound effects, and white noise. I will begin with common chords. A chord is a combination of two or more unique notes, and the different intervals within a chord forms what we call a chord quality. Now, there are 9 major chord qualities, but I'll be looking at 4 specifically today. The first is the major chord. This chord sounds very happy and simple. The next chord is the minor chord. This is quite the opposite of the major chord. It sounds very sad and serious. The third chord is called the diminished chord. This chord tends to sound very tense and unpleasant. And the final chord I'll be looking at is called the augmented chord. It has a very anxious and suspenseful feel. And when compared to the major chord, it sounds a little like this. Moving on to the next one, we have suspense sound effects. If you recall from the beginning of my speech, I played some suspenseful music. I made a statement about change in your heart rate, and let's try that again. Now, this audio was meant to emulate a trailer hitting on something. Research says that one of the ways that sound can affect us is by association. What that means is that if a sound is associated with a previous life event, then it provokes some sort of emotion in us. In this case, it is associated with the knowledge that we have from watching movies and video games about what happens when a trailer hits a body. I think we all know how that ends. The final type of sound I'll be looking at today is called the white noise. White noise is a refined type of noise designed to mimic background noise in a very subtle way. Now, because this is just an imitation of background noise, there are various types. An example is raindrops. This is commonly used to induce sleep. The idea behind white noise is to create a constant ambient sound to help mask activity from inside and outside. This is great for relaxing, especially in a busy environment, and it's also great for making babies to fall asleep. Sound is a combination of chords, and as seen in the previous example, different chords breed different emotions. Research has proven that background music can be a catalyst for excitement and inspiration for artists. And as mentioned before, being able to associate a sound with a past experience can excite some feeling of happiness anger, fear, or even sadness. Sound is used in various circumstances, such as cleaning and working out. It can be used as a source of energy in those instances. In other cases, if the sound is dull, it can be used to bring sleep. Soothing chords such as these. This one has the major 7th chord, and it's used in music which especially makes people get in their feelings, such as jazz, soul, R&B, and alternative. Sounds like this are also good for inducing sleep. It's important to understand the effect that certain sounds can have on our moods. Psychologists have proven that there's a link between one's taste in music and one's personality. Knowing the type of sounds that can trigger one's happiness or sadness is very vital for our mental health. A key trigger for PTSD patients is noise. And knowing how to avoid that noise or any related sounds that can make them get in that position means that they've understood themselves and they're able to control themselves from worst scenarios. In the meantime, explore music, note its benefits and effects, and protect your mental health. Thank you.